If you want to learn how to bake this 100% hydration focaccia and something else, stay watching this video. Guten Morgen everyone, today we'll be baking focaccia. Yes, I know that in my channel I have many other recipes of focaccia, but not this one. This one is going to have 100% hydration. And what that does mean? That means that in 1 kilo flour we have 1 kilo water. So it's going to be an almost impossible mission. The whole idea of this quest is to get a focaccia very light, super airy, open crumb, and if you stay till the end of the video there's going to be an incredible surprise. So let's get started. But before we start with the recipe, we need to do something. Since this is a very hydrated dough, we need to check what flour are we going to use. So I am going to check 3 different flours and see which one is the perfect for this focaccia. The first flour for this test is going to be the all-purpose flour. 100 gram flours and 100 grams water. We are not kneading, just mixing till the flour gets all hydrated. Now I cover it with a lid and let it rest for 1 hour. The next one is bread flour. We're going to use equal parts of flour and water again. Put the lid on and done. Time to rest for 1 hour. This flour should be the one for this kind of focaccia. So we have 100 grams of flour and we add 100 grams of water. Mixing and done. We cover it and let it rest for 1 hour. Good, it's been an hour, so it's time to check the flours. How did they respond to the autolysis? Okay, let's go first with the all-purpose flour. I wet my hand and now I pick it up and I'll try to stretch. No. There is no gluten development at all. It was too much water for this flour. Let's move on to the next one. Now time for the bread flour. Okay, I wet my hands again and remove it from the bottom. I thought it was looking a little bit better, but not that better. 100% hydration is too much for this flour. Maybe around 70-80 could be okay. Now to move to the last one. Now we are going to check the membrane of the high gluten flour. And I pick it up, looking good. Here we have some gluten development. Check my fingers, it's so translucent and yes, I like this flour. So we are ready to start with the focaccia. And now that we have the flour, let's check the formula. And here it is. Remember that you can add it into my app, Guten Morgen Baker's Percentage. It's totally free for Android or iPhone. Have you seen the formula? This focaccia is made with Biga. But the interesting thing about this recipe is that 100% of the flour goes into the Biga. Yes, we are going to pre-ferment the whole flour 1 day before. That's going to make it super tasty, super light and super airy. And the other thing is that we're using 100% water. This is an extreme recipe. So let's start with the Biga. For the Biga we need the flour that we already know, which is some water, yeast, and a container. So we put in the container all the flour. We add the yeast, and now we add the water. Remember that in the Biga we use 1 part of flour and then half part of water. The rest of the water is going to be incorporated in the final recipe. So at the beginning this is going to be a very dry dough. We shake it a little bit or we can use a spoon. We are not kneading at all. There's no gluten development. We're going to get all these chunks of flour. It's perfect. As soon as all the water is incorporated, that's all. So that is the texture that we're looking for. Now we cover it and we leave it there on the counter until tomorrow. And here we have the full fermented Biga. As you can see, it hasn't grown that much, but it is all full of bubbles. So now we are ready to continue with the recipe. So now it's time to start with the final dough. As we're working with the Biga, I recommend you to use a stand mixer if you have. Of course you can do it by hand, because sometimes you get these little chunks of flour or Biga that keeps in the dough for longer time. That's why I recommend, if you have a mixer, use it. Okay, let's start. And the ingredients for the final dough are, of course, the Biga. So we need the rest of the water, some salt, and a good olive oil. I feel like an Italian making gnocchi. As usual, I am going to use the paddle instead of the hook because we're working with high hydration doughs and this is much more efficient. So now I'm going to add the water little by little. That's called bassinage in French. It's going to be hard. And almost at the end, I'm going to add the salt and finally the olive oil. So let's start and may the gluten be with us. I still have all this water left, but now I move to speed number 2. So we are going good. We still have all this little water to reach the 100% hydration. Wow. So the key is always to keep the dough hooked to the paddle. And we still have this little last amount of water to go in. And here I have the last drops of water for 100% hydration. And now that the gluten network is almost developed, time to add the salt. And last but not least, the olive oil. We've got it. Ooh, wow. And now that it's on the counter, a few stretching and foldings, kind of Bertinet style. And now that the dough is in the bowl, I'll cover it and take it to the fridge for cold fermentation until tomorrow. See you. Guten Morgen everyone, and here I am again, 24 hours later with the dough already proofed. Let's take a look. It's a little bit scary, but let's go. On an oven tray, we pour some olive oil. But some no, a lot of olive oil. Yes, believe in me because it's really important. And wow, this dough is so sticky. So we stretch it a little bit with our fingers and let it there. Okay, now that the dough is unmolded, I have to stretch it very, very little. The thing is to wait till the gluten network relaxes a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to break it. Now another drizzle of olive oil, and we do the final adjustments. Always doing it very carefully. Now that the dough is already stretched, it's time to bake it. I have my oven preheated at 480 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to be there for around 15 minutes. Let's go. Are you lost with all the sourdough bread recipes that you find on the internet? Would you like to learn all the tips and tricks to make your own sourdough bread at home? Then I have the solution. I have designed the perfect masterclass of sourdough bread just made for you. By clicking the link on the description, you will learn how to make and take care of your sourdough starter, how to knead, shape, ferment, and bake your sourdough bread, how to use and read the baker's percentage, all the basic techniques to bake like a pro at home, and how to read and understand your dough. Don't miss out on it and click the link on the description right now. Oh, and now the crucial part of the video, unmolding the focaccia. Haha. Okay, I've got it. And now that the focaccia has cooled down, it's time to slice it. Oh, this is really, really light. Okay. Oh. Wow. I can't believe it. It was almost a mission impossible, as I said, but it really was worth it. This cannot end like this. I have an idea. Follow me. Hi, Willie. I brought you the focaccia.
Oh, how you doing?
This is the best place for a super sandwich.
Bellissimo. Para el primer sándwich me parece que tenemos que ir para el lado italiano. Lo vamos a acompañar con un queso toscano que se hace en Neuquén. Podemos elegir entre el culatello o este rumpeto. Los dos son de cerdos duros y tienen 1 año y medio de maduración. El culatello es la nalga, el pelleto y la cuadrada, y el rumpeto lo hacemos con el cuadril. Lo salamos, lo maceramos y después al secadero a madurarse y secarse por 1 año y medio.
1 año y medio. Wow.
Limón y aceite de oliva bueno. Un poquito de rúcula. Para el segundo sándwich vamos a poner algo más clásico. Stracciatella, un aceite verde que preparamos con botatay. Vamos a usar la mortadela con pistacho. Es una emulsión que haces con carne de cerdo y grasa de cerdo. A eso le sumás los cubitos de tocino, el pistacho tostado y después al horno por 9 horas. La mortadela se asa, no se cocina. Vamos a usar tomates secos y pistacho tostado. Y para el tercer sándwich vamos a usar algo especial. Una manteca que hacemos con ajo negro y café. Queso morbido. Un salame que hacemos nosotros, que preparamos con jamón, guanciale y tinta de calamar. Es un salame que picamos todo a mano, maceramos una parte del magro, de la carne con tinta de calamar, mezclamos o ensamblamos todo y lo embutimos en tripones de vacuno. Son productos que después se secan, fermentan y maduran por 4 meses.
So, Juanchi, glad to have you here. You were in the neighborhood.
Yes, just smell some good things and came.
So, well, I want you to give us your opinion about this excellent charcuterie and the focaccia.
The number one of Argentina, you know, Corte got the 3 different sandwiches with focaccia.
Okay, well, so
Let's try it. We have a sandwich called focaccia, culatello, arugula,
your olive oil.
my olive oil, and Patagonian cheese. Amazing combination.
Okay, what do you think about this mortadella focaccia sandwich?
Mortadella is not Bologna.
Oh,
Some call Bologna, no. Mortadella is mortadella, Bologna is Bologna. Mortadella is amazing. Dry tomato, basil, and stracciatella.
stracciatella cheese. So tell me, what about the last sandwich?
It has this kind of salami with calamari, incredible. Romesco sauce, morbier cheese, lettuce, and pickled onions.
Ah,
The best.
okay, thank you, Juanchi, for being in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Billy. Great.
Thank you, Billy. Your charcuterie is excellent. So if people want to try your charcuterie, where they can find you?
Okay, we are in Lower Belgrano,
Buenos Aires.
in Buenos Aires, Argentina, en el Corte Charcuteria.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next video. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn more about sourdough bread and sourdough starter, I encourage you to check the link on the description. And remember, this masterclass was specially designed for you.